Now is the time for a new third party, everybody. Yeah. Welcome to our show, where we have new ideas. And be sure to follow us at Third Party on Twitter. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Yeah, it kind of pauses after a while. Okay, we're up and running at the Hangout. Thank you for coming in, everybody. Today we're going to talk about government waste, and we're interacting with our chatters over at Vaughn. Very trippy, yeah. Great intro, thanks, Trek. Okay, so blimp plane is not our new idea. We've got mobile medical units for America that will be a bypass for our healthcare crisis that we're having in our country. 200 mobile medical units spidered out, going around neighborhoods, helping people with low income will take the pressure off our private healthcare industry, allowing it to flourish in its own way. We do support the Second Amendment. Yep, I do have a couple of BB guns. Very happy, proud owner of a couple of rapid fire BB guns. We are also coming up with new ideas for solving the housing crisis, which is evolving. We're still seeing foreclosures happening.
Exactly, 5824. We need you to help us.
Well, the thing about our country is the separation of wealth has never been greater. Even the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Janet Yellen, has been yelling about how she thinks that the disparity is terrible. Well, that's coming from a person who makes lots of money and handles huge amounts of money. She cares. You know, it's nice to hear from her and know that she cares, but that's not enough. We're not seeing enough programs, enough solutions. You know, when Hillary Clinton just announced last week that she didn't think business was responsible for creating jobs, or business doesn't create jobs, she said. Business doesn't create jobs. I think the government and business can work together to create jobs. And I think both Hillary and Barack are wrong on that issue. We need to activate the free market as best we can. I am a BB expert. I'm not a ballistics expert. I know my BBs real well. You've systematically separated yourself from your wealth. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. We should bring back manufacturing in the US. And, you know, we have a strong plan to create renewable energy, green, clean technologies at the government level. And this is where we're different from the Democrats and the Republicans. We really believe the government can create products, can ramp up production in a mass production way, kind of like Henry Ford did with the Model T and the Model A. And we will be finding solutions that will become viral, like our rooftop solar panel idea that will literally create carpet-like rooftop solar panels. I'll show you a picture of that. It's a kind of the mainstay to what we want to create and produce in America. The rollout idea is literally that, a rollout idea. So if you can imagine us fixing up houses and creating and mass-producing carpet-like solar panels in America, we could do this. We could create a revolution. Well, you're part of the revolution, I guess, if you bought a Ford. You know, I was amazed that Honda sent me a couple of advertising, asked me to trade in my Honda Insight.
Because they want to get you into payments for a bigger car. You
wouldn't believe the cars they're offering. They're offering crossovers for as little as $4 a day. I mean, the deals are so good. Whoa. People all over the place are buying new cars still to this day and hooking up to credit. I was covered with placenta pizza. That's disgusting. It's probably true.
I didn't go to pizza today.
No, I don't.
I was thinking maybe I'd have you make some chili tomorrow.
Yeah, we could do that. I can make chili.
Those new spices that you got for the spice shop.
I've got some really good ground bison.
Oh,
that would be perfect. I'll start defrosting it. Yeah, I picked it up.
I feel like I'm just sore, a little bit of something up here.
Something's going down. Yeah, you're getting a little sore throat, maybe. I think that the nation is owned. I do believe it's owned, and we are not the owners according to the monetary system that we have adopted. We have a central bank called the Federal Reserve, and it basically does whatever the wealthy global elitists want it to do. I don't think England is behind it totally, so I'm differing from Alex Jones on that.
I agree, Amy Pie. Amy Pie said that this election seems like a mandate for you to really turn this country around.
It is. You know, the American people would have voted for an independent had they been on the ballot, but because the two-party system has impregnated itself in the American political landscape, No one had that choice, so everyone did the next best thing, vote for the other guy, and they voted for the Republicans. And now the Republicans are going to give everybody a chance to see how they're going to waste a year and a half talking and bickering with the Democrats, and we'll still be in the same place we are in 2016, in need of a third party. I agree.
Dan actually said something very good.
Go
He
ahead.
said, Dave, you have the best show on Vaughn, hands down. I hope your show can grow into something huge.
We hope so too. I hope that the possibilities are enormous, that we could actually create a much better show.
And he thinks you work on the show.
You know,
I've
done a lot. Yeah, I've done a lot of stuff, and it has been a long road to get here. But let me bring in the hemp picture. That's a grid picture. Part of the reason why I think a third party is going to win in the upcoming elections is we want to legalize marijuana, and the two parties don't. So always remember, we've got new ideas, new ways of solving America's problems, like our solar rooftop revolution and our homestead renewal plan. But we're never going to be able to replace the old world that has collapsed around us. We're never going to bring back what America was in the 1950s. I would love to say that we're going to be all making big bucks, banking, loading up our income levels, buying new houses for next to nothing. Back in the 60s, that was possible. But today, it's not the case. I mean, I think we're dealing with austerity. And all the countries around the world are seeing global economic collapse. There's a kind of a contraction going on around the world. And I think America needs to lead the way in sustainability. And don't call me a communist because I use that word, because I'm not a communist. He says, oh, sustainability, you must be a communist. No, that's just your neocon buzzword that you're using. The reality is I am talking about a sustainable economy where we live efficiently within our means. Here, I have a good background I would bring in. Let's bring in the Oval Office.
This isn't Barcelona. I believe that was Philadelphia.
It was Philadelphia. Here, I brought that in just to bring it back in again. Let me do that. All right, so this is our header for the show.
Maserati.
We have a Wasteful Wednesday header too we'll bring in. But yeah, legalization is central to this third party. So when you talk to people about a third party, be sure to say, first off, that they want to legalize marijuana on a national level.
And Sarah never smoked any reefers in her youth and never will smoke reefers in her old age either.
No, and I won't smoke any rebar. I prefer not to smoke anything, really. I'd rather vape, actually. Okay, cool. Yes, KY Poopy can come on the show. Come on in, KY. Don't be afraid. I don't think that you need to listen to everything some right-wing extremist tells you, Earthster. You need to start thinking more along the lines of what other people are thinking. If you label any one group of people, Jewish or Caucasian, Americans, whatever, I mean, you're just labeling people. It's not really solving any problems. We can't drive a wedge between the races when we're trying to deal with a crisis of environmental proportion.
A Kansas independent almost won.
A guy in Kansas almost won. That's pretty cool about Sniffer.
We should look him up.
I'll look that guy up. I know. Well, you're calling people names, Topper Dan. You see, this is where the Republicans and the Democrats have fallen into a bad trap. All they do is call each other names. I don't know. We keep the flowers fresh here.
Well, I just took a picture of them, and that's how they stay so fresh.
Yeah.
It's not real.
So it's interesting to see our hangout now. It's obviously picking up the Medicare feed, even though we don't have a Medicare feed. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Wait, you do have Medicare down there?
Yeah, but it's not running.
Really? Down?
No.
Oh.
It's ironic. It managed to find our Medicare feed and just kept it. So I guess
that's good.
Yeah, better late than never. I still have a sense of humor after all these years. Yes, I'm a centrist. I'm in the middle. Not too big, not too small. I don't want to destabilize our economy. As much as I don't like globalization and how it's led to outsourcing of jobs, I don't want to shut off globalization and tell companies they can't import goods. Like Walmart would probably go out of business if they stopped importing goods from China. But I do want to implement things that will begin to tell China that, hey, you've got First Nation trading status. Clinton gave it to you. But what you don't have is proper human rights. And I believe that we need to have a way in which we could put a tariff on people with bad human rights abuses. All right. So I believe that an ecological tariff is in order of 15%. That's an idea that would modify the way we trade with countries like China and India. Just an idea. Doesn't have to be, you know, the law of the land necessarily. But tariffs have a tendency of slowing down importation of products and slowing down an economy. So I'm very hesitant to use this 15% ecological tariff, but it's possible that it could help our economy because it'll bring in enough money to help pay for the cost of dealing with bad products that end up in landfills and cause disastrous pollution. We don't want that. So I'm going to make a green sign on there and make it the ecological 15% tariff idea. You can take it or leave it. It's something that I will bring to the table in 2017 as your president. Now, all of these ideas could very well be put into play in 2021 if I become president then, either way. Remember those banners, yeah. You're lonely, Sam? Well, maybe you need to talk to women at the market, or maybe guys. I don't want to gender type you. You need to talk to more people. Otherwise, people won't know who you are. That's the number one thing you need to do. And that will lead you to somebody who will like you. Oh, there's Sam, you know, and they meet you at the store. They go, hi, Sam, remember we talked last week? You go, oh, yeah, I'm Sam, I'm lonely. Well, why are you so lonely? Well, there are people in the room that are gay. David, stop taxing things immediately, you tyrant. These are tariffs. They're not taxes. Well, they're taxes on imports that come into our country. They're gross. You know, I went to the dollar store and I saw a little device that was a blowhorn, and it says for ages 6 and over, and it puts out like 200 decibels. And I thought, what 7-year-old is going to sit there with their in their ear from China and blow out their eardrums with it? I mean, seriously, there's no checkpoints anymore. We used to have a testing center, a United States testing facility. They don't exist anymore. They've been merged with a company out of Switzerland.
That's great, Amy.
So we don't test products that come into our country. We continue to outsource. Basically, Obama's done nothing since George Bush occupied the White House. You listen to my show In the Shower, Amy, that's kind of kinky. You have one of those waterproof TVs or laptops or something? All right, good. So that's just one idea we could put on the mantle there, an ecological tariff. Set that down on the mantle. There we go. Okay, we also have another thing that might help, which is a concept that would fund the renewable energy sector without charging you taxes. And that is the renewable energy savings bonds concept, where people would buy bonds to help America grow. And these energy bonds would be used to fund new projects that could turn an immediate return on investment, things that produce energy. These are just like the war bonds of the 1940s. I don't know if your grandparents ever told you about these things, but they really helped fuel our country's growth and helped us survive a very tough economic time. So I'll put that in blue. These bond issues will be used to fund the growth of products and things the government can produce. Now, the Democrats don't even have a brain or a mindset to have government production whatsoever. This is where we're different from the Democrats. We actually see the government as a way of producing cheap products, good quality, but cheap products that could be used to help fund the growth of our economy. And these concepts will help trigger American growth, I believe. All right. The Democrats don't have any of these ideas. None of them. Nothing. No, Dave, they don't. Or at the end of well, yeah, they couldn't. They financed the war by borrowing money. That's how FDR did it. But he used the war bonds to trigger growth in our economy. It's true. No, these are renewable energy savings bonds. They create energy. For instance, if I were to create a solar panel like the kind I was talking about earlier, let me just give you that as an example. Say a rooftop solar panel, something like this. If I were to create a rollout carpet-like solar panel like this, say each one of these could cover an entire rooftop, and they would cost the government about $2,000. I'm serious, under $1 a watt, and we can put it on the roof with another $2,000, or maybe a total of $5,000. We could use renewable energy savings bonds to pay this for the initial infrastructure. And then we would immediately get a return on investment from money derived from the energy these solar rooftop panels create.
Don't stop working after 20 years.
No, the ones I'm projecting will work about 40, I'm going to say 50-year lifespan. We're going to use a brand new technique in making these solar panels. Amorphous solar panels will be produced that are 85% efficient, meaning they will produce a lot more energy than the ones we currently have, okay? We will use nanotechnology to create them. And we will be making a ton of these solar panels, mass production, Teflon coated, right? And they'll be able to produce energy for every dollar put in, we'll get money back.
Thank you, terrible terrorists. I will do it right now.
Topper Dan, I'm going to ask you to kindly stick your head back in the sand because we don't need people who are ostriches who have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, thanks. Yeah. The insect population will be protected from the solar panels. Don't worry. Now, there's a company that is growing in Massachusetts that is developing these concepts, these nanotechnology solar panels that are amazingly efficient. Shrek sent us his address. I'm going to send him our new signs. They said they didn't like the picture. A couple of people said it was kind of a creepy picture here, but I'll do something on the picture side. We must be.
What do you mean?
Oh, see how when I put this up there, it's opposite? Weird.
That's weird. Yeah, flip the image.
Well, maybe we are flipped. Let's see if the camera is flipped. Hang on. I might have flipped it. Yes, I did. Okay, there I am. This is the new poster, but it's going to be much larger than this. It looks like I'm in the process of taking my pants off. Okay. Well, I'll try to do a better picture. This was just a test print, and the lady at the Office Max was unable to actually get this right. I wanted 11 by 17, but she ends up handing me these little dinky things, and I said, could you maybe, yeah. You just got 20 more people to vote for me? Excellent, thank you.
Here's something you could use.
There's a new wallpaper banner that was sent to me. So I'm taking contributions. Thank you. We'll take a look at that. So we've got these little mini-me's and mini signs. I'm putting these in an envelope and I'm sending them to Shrek.
And take some more pictures of yourself and send them to this person.
Okay.
Because he's got some things he's making for you.
Excellent. We'll find the best sign. You like the new signs? Well, this is my idea. But if we can get a better sign.
Look at that.
Yeah, it just looks pasted up.
Yeah, but it does look good.
It looks good. I just need a new face put in there. And that sign is awesome. Look at the beautiful flag. Let's show everybody. Hang on. Beautiful flag. I like what you've done. Don't get me wrong. I think it's awesome.
It's from Terrible Terrorists.
Terrible Terrorists did this for us. But yeah, very cool. I'm very impressed. And the flag is awesome in the background. I really like it.
Testers.
Testing sites. But we're going to get the signs going.
I should take some pictures of you like looking like that in your actual suit and tie.
Exactly. I'll make it easy for you. I'll wear a suit and tie. I'll take some pictures. And Sarah will do this probably this weekend. In the meantime, on Thursday, I am going to print up 11 by 17s of these signs and send them out to whoever wants to have them in front of their house.
That's pretty cool, too.
Oh, that's an awesome one. Wow. Great work, Terrible Terrorists.
Yeah.
Hello, can I help you? Okay,
I have taken some video, David.
go ahead. What's up? Hello? Yeah, nobody there.
This is nice too.
They look great. Good job. Really nicely done. So I'm going to get you some better pictures of me that are a little bit more current with my new teeth. Thank you. Mobile dental units will be, these units will be equipped with some dental capabilities. We will have some mobile dental units that will come through neighborhoods. I would love to help people out in a cheaper way than they currently have to face with all their dentist costs. It's ridiculous. Dentists have a lock on high costs of dental work. They go to school to kind of rip you off. Whenever you go in the dentist, they tell you, oh yeah, that'll be 5 faces have to go on your tooth. I have a little chip in my real tooth here. Now you can't, these are my press-on
This is what the person said. So I can.
What person is that?
The
Norwegian person?
Yeah, Norwegian person.
Well, we can't take any donations from foreign nationals. We'll have to just refund them.
Yeah.
Hello? Can I help you? They're usually drug addicts and always flirt. They're weird. Oh, have you ever had a dentist constantly crack jokes and you've got your mouth standing there going, and they're going, oh, did I tell you the one about Shecky Green when he was in the bathroom in the Catskills? You know, you can't say no. We all need a little dental care, frankly.
You know, when you're in a dental chair, it's just your job to listen.
No, my job is to spit.
But you know what's really good about
the reptilian
place where I go?
Yeah, what?
I go to this great periodontist, and anyway, he has a little TV that he can hover right over me.
Yeah.
And he usually leaves it on the Food Network.
Oh, cool. So you watch the Food Network. Good.
Yeah.
Sarah likes to watch the Food Network.
But you can put it on any channel or request any radio station or anything.
Yeah.
That you want.
Well, that's kind of cool.
So then, you know, you have something else talking.
I don't make any money.
The person's less likely to talk.
Yeah. You've been to the Catskills. Well,
I have been to the Catskills too.
This dentist wants to charge me $300 to fix a little chip in my tooth. And I'm probably going to do it because a lot of people say, thank you, Nicole. A lot of people say, David, why don't you get rid of these press-on veneers and wear your regular teeth? Well, I do want to go out and spend, you know, time out in the real public with a normal face, but somebody's working at McDonald's, really? Well, good. Congratulations. It's a shame that you had to come in here. I want you to think about removing your tooth and putting an implant in. It'll be the thousands or 15 and then 3,000 for the crown. Oh yeah, it's only $5,000 to remove your one tooth. That's why we went for the press-on veneers for my teeth. And I'm going to try to figure out what we're going to do.
Oh, are you saying that's what? Is that what the dentists say or something like that? Yeah.
So the cost of fixing our economy is going to be all about finding the waste, okay? Because we're not producing a lot in America. As we segue to production, then we'll be able to bring more money in. But really, the number one thing in 2017 will be to find the waste that the two parties have been unable to stop.
Hi, Carl.
Plug the leaks in this dike. And we've got a big problem with leaks in the dike.
9384, I'm going to go see an orthodontist to see what they want to do at the end of this month.
I know. Eye insurance, eye care, and dental insurance are ridiculous. They only cover 50%, generally speaking. Really. Carl wants to know, what are you going to do to fix the economy in the first 4 years? Well, great question, Carl. We are going to try to stop all the different leaks in Medicaid and Medicare and in government contracts with military contractors by getting experts who can identify the specific area of waste. These are called forensic auditors, and they can look at an entire series of problems specific to their expertise. Like some people will be experts on Medicaid fraud. Some people will be experts on welfare fraud. And we will train these people to be very, very careful to find all those little leaks. Walgreens, they were caught with their fingers in the cookie jar, overbilling for pharmaceuticals for a total of $42 million. And they ended up paying that back to the US government. That's just one thing. We'll still encourage the whistleblower program as well, but I won't be giving 15%. we're going to give about 5% of the whistleblower program. I think the whistleblower program is way too lucrative for people that blow whistles.
Can you go up 3 inches? Yeah. I should say too.
Okay, an independent challenger in Ormond in Kansas, a GOP guy.
This is a Fox News alert and a big one. In Kansas, Fox News can now project that three-term Republican Senator Pat Roberts will survive the political scare of his life tonight by beating independent challenger Greg Ormond. Coming into today's election, Roberts had been the GOP's really most vulnerable senator incumbent, so this victory is huge tonight and a huge sign of relief for Republicans whose plans to take over the Senate would have been a lot more difficult with a independent in Kansas. This is a big deal. This means that the path to get to 6 pickups is a lot easier. The net gain of 6 needed. Kansas was one of those blocks that Democrats really thought they could have. And the fact that Pat Roberts came back from really political death in the past couple of weeks is a big win.
He was,
you know, I got to ask, do you think these people pasted their faces on? I mean, look at these people. I mean, what's going on?
That's just how newscasters are these days.
Well, he's gained a lot of weight. And she's got eyelashes.
She's lost a lot of weight.
She's lost a lot of weight. And she's got eyelashes that you literally can, you know, call a jungle and travel in. All right. Caller is standing by.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, hello. Okay. Sure. Guest 538, go ahead. Yes, guest 538. Sure. I'll unban all. Go ahead. No problem. Thank you. Hey, awesome. Guest 538. Cool. Thanks for calling. Okay. Thank guest 538 unbanned. He can come in now. Hopefully he's got his ability to get into the chat room. We are on Ustream and we're also on StreamUp in case you guys are interested. I am going to go on to the backup computer over here and I'm going to hook up to that so we can monitor StreamUp chat tonight. Well, frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn. That's Clark Gable in the movie Gone with the Wind. Well, frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn. That's about all I can do. I'm sure he said other things in his entire career, but I just don't know what they are. David, hey, it's awesome, Carl. Do you think it will be hard to get the House to agree on your 10% tax plan? It will. That's why I'm going to work and finesse it with the external groups like the Tea Party. Bring those people in, because a lot of those people, like, remember Herman Cain too? He supported the flat tax. We'll work through the back channels of the House initially. And if the major players don't want to even consider a flat tax, we are going to stick a camera in front of their face and a monitor with my face on it. And for an hour a day, I'm going to contract C-SPAN, or maybe 2 hours, and walk around to all the senators and talk to them directly with C-SPAN holding my face there, kind of like hanging in the front of their door. Excuse me, but the president would like to talk to you, sir. We have an appointment. Well, and then the senator from the good state of Minnesota won't talk to me, or the good state of Alabama won't talk to me. That'll be public information. People will say that they don't want to talk to the president. That'll be a kind of in-your-face reality show that we want to put together. Kind of confront the people that need to swing the vote. I'm going to send Shrek this on my dime.
Oh, yeah.
It's no cost to you, Shrek. You've been a big supporter, and this is just to get it started. And I'll be getting you the big signs that you will, of course, pay for those. But those will have sticks in the box, everything, including screws to screw them in. I don't do crank calls. I'm not a person who would bother to do that. I don't give a damn. That's right. DJ Torres, that's the mantra he lives by every day. He walks around, and he's a bag person, homeless. He walks around and says, frankly, I don't care. I don't give a damn. That's right. My biggest challenge when it comes to stopping waste will be all the cronies in the military industrial complex. Cronies of like Lockheed Martin and Boeing, Titan, Bechtel, Halliburton, Grumman. There's a whole lot more, Raytheon. They've got their fingers in the till. Most of them get about $20 to $35 billion a year in contracts. This year, Boeing got $50 billion with the new contract for the oil tankers that fill up jets in the air. It's a combined contract. They're producing, I believe, 13 F-18s and I think 8 or 9 tankers for that $50 billion. It's just ridiculous. On the Carlyle Group, let's not forget them. Yes, Shrek. How do you know about the Carlyle Group? That's a pretty interesting group of people that has an influence over our country greater than perhaps any, truly. And they don't get mentioned very often. It's funny you should mention that, Shrek. Isn't that interesting, Shrek? Tune in on that. We were kind of harassed by an attorney for the Carlyle Group recently. Yeah, it was a strange situation where we had an attack on our name, third party. And the guy turned out to be a person who worked for the Carlyle Group. No, she'll be back. She's just resting. She had a big day.
Yeah, I'm just getting some dinner.
My position on national defense as opposed to policing other countries, I believe that we can bring our troops home, shore up our borders, and stop being the policemen around the world and save a lot of money. And our military budget could shrink to maybe around $350 billion a year. The NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, was the $692 billion act that Barack Obama signed. And we've already seen the cost of contractors and military contractors like Lockheed Martin and others skyrocket. You know, they're building the USS Gerald Ford right now, and many people have been talking about the cost is close to $2 billion. And even John McCain was on camera talking about the tremendous waste. And later tonight, I'll be playing a video of that. Many of the Republicans have been very concerned about the excesses in the military industrial complex, believe it or not. It's not coming from the Democrats, it's coming from the Republicans. So I have hope for the Republicans. I have hope that in the next year and a half, they will begin to see the light and trigger our free market, lower regulations on small business, begin to cut the waste in the military industrial complex. I mean, now that they have power in Congress, they should be able to do it. So let's see if they can put their money where their mouth is. I'm not going to charge people for this, 362. You know, I've been doing this for 6 years, 6,000 hours of broadcasting. And if I made $10 an hour or even $8 an hour, I would be looking at a total of about $50,000 had I been walking around at Walmart, standing there greeting people. I could have been a greeter at Walmart. I welcome to Walmart, and I could be sitting on $60,000 right now had I spent the past 6 years doing that instead of this. So I'm not about the money. I really don't want to stand there and be a greeter at Walmart either. I know, Lenny. That hula girl was just the bane of my existence today in the Hitman game, Absolution. I've never, ever struck a woman in my life, ever. I will never hit a woman. I've been trained as a young boy, never strike a woman. Do you think they'll stop electronic voting machines because the easy way is to, you know, I don't think they're going to do any of that, Awesome Carl. This is why I believe a third party is necessary. I don't believe that the two parties are ever going to even create election reform. We're not going to see term limits out of the Democrats or Republicans. They don't want to leave office. They've got a revolving door to corporations where they can get a job making $160,000, $180,000 a year when they leave. So we need a third party to just usher in these reforms like election reform and term limit reform. AZ Dude, Arizona Dude has a question. Tell me about a contractors get paid crazy amounts on money and stay in 5-star hotels while guiding military members on how to do the job they know how to do, but since we couldn't touch the equipment because of the contractors, they made bank. I've heard that from a lot of people, Arizona Dude. Contractors, it's a loveless job. The government's not going to stand up for you when you're out there in the middle of Iraq and you're working for Halliburton. But you're going to be paid $1,000 a day to do it. So it's kind of a weird thing that our government's engaged in, where we're married at the hip to these contractors like Halliburton, but we won't protect them in times that they need protection. It's very interesting. You know, a guy working in the military costs about $150 a day. There's still a gap there, even with the, really? Well, I have them put a gap in my teeth just to make it look more natural. I'm just kidding. Chemtrails are legit. We normally don't talk about them on our show tonight, but I will show you my regular picture that I show everybody of actual photographs of a chemtrail device flying over an area. I always like to, bring this in because it's the best picture I've ever seen of chemtrails being deployed. Look at those. I mean, there's no question about the chemtrails. So why are we living in this dream world where if you believe there's chemtrails, you're a whack job? If I'm a marketing major, Dave, what job should I pursue after I graduate? My bachelor's, looking to take my MBA as well. Guest 3621, you could be very advantageous in a small corporation. You might find a niche in your area, a company that's struggling with advertising and marketing. Yeah. Marketing is very key to the growth of any one company. And if you can find a local business that's teetering on the edge, marketing can make the difference. So you might want to contact some people local to you. And you don't want to drive a long distance because that's going to cost you money and fuel. But try to find out all the businesses in the area and send your resume to them. All right? Medium-sized businesses. Small businesses aren't going to pay for much. They're going to keep their costs down. The blackface video is not released yet. The re-edited version of blackface has not been released. I have in my repertoire some blackface stuff that I did, recorded for the show. I can give you a little sneak peek of it. Would that make you feel a little bit better? But I'm re-editing the Blackface 2 videos, so it's really good. The one I put it out for about 8 hours, and nobody, 14 people saw it, but it was like an hour and 45 minutes of my dress rehearsal. And what I'm trying to do is put together something a lot more substantial that's short and to the point. Okay, it turns out I don't have that on this drive. Bummer. Yeah, sorry, I just can't bring it in. Trying to remember where I put it. Yeah, it's not around. Let's put that off to the side for now. We'll bring that in another time. But let's talk more about your money, because that's what's going down the drain right now with these two parties just sucking money left and right out of the taxes that are rolling in. By the way, the taxes that do go out constantly, those taxes are just paying the interest on the debt. They aren't paying any of the money that to operate the country, in case you were wondering. So I'm going to stick your money over here in the corner in that picture right there. That's how meaningful it is to Barack Obama. He spends your money left and right, so he could care less. Okay, guest 361, I'm running for president because I believe that we need a third party, an independent voice in Washington. The checks and balances of the court system and the legislative branch, the executive branch are not working. I think the courts are corrupt. I think the legislative branch is corrupt. And I believe that the executive branch could very well be honest and could lead by example and create a top-down restoration of our economy. But we can't fix everything all of a sudden, but we can certainly get on the right road to doing that. I can't give you any money, no. Yeah, butt sniffer. Well, the greenhouse gas people were a little bit off because they didn't calculate the simple fact that our planet is actually encountering what is called the galactic global alignment. And when you look at the position of our planet relative to the Milky Way and the sun, you will see a major shift going on. In fact, the sun just had a major shift of polarity. It happens every 11 years.
Let us travel now at the speed of light, departing from our home star on a trip across the cosmos toward the edge of the known universe. Our imaginary journey begins at midnight on January 1st.
Hey, David Nation.
Prepare to launch into space at the speed of 186,000 miles per second. We quickly pass the orbits of Mercury, Venus, and span the 93 million miles that separate the Earth from the Sun in just 8 minutes, 19 seconds.
There's our little Earth and
Moon.
We
continue on, passing Mars. Then the gas giant planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Finally, after 5 hours and 31 minutes, we race past Pluto and its companion moon.
So do you want to be near Uranus, or do you want to be near the global galactic alignment? Because that's what I'm talking about here. We're going to be near the Milky Way in just a second. So as we approach that, I'll stop the video and show you what I mean. Ding the planets off my head. What do you want to record this? Guess 316? Well, step-by-step plans on how to do this. First, we get enough votes. We need to get enough signatures on in every state. We need all the specific forms filled out for every state. They're all laid out on our website. You go to your state, you see what the form you need, or you contact the Secretary of State. Then we get me on the ballot in every state. We also use your names who want to participate as electoral college voters, become part of the electoral college. If we win 34% of the three-way split in our country's political structure, we then need to win 51% of the electoral college votes to win the presidency. That's the number. That's the real number that we're looking at. Once I become a third-party president, I then tell the rest of the two-party system, you're in trouble. Okay, we're entering a very big part of the cosmos here. Would anyone like to go on a psychedelic journey of the cosmos? Let us travel. This is getting cool. Check this out. Okay, here's the Milky Way, the edge of the Milky Way. I love this picture. I'm going to park it right there. Okay, so we're way far away from Earth and the Milky Way. The arrangement of the Milky Way relative to the sun and Earth has changed, and that's why we're facing a cyclical ice age. So the global climate scientists who don't really know what's going on, they know that pollution is bad, but in no way is it affecting our planet as much as the position relative to the Earth, the sun, and the Milky Way. So we're seeing a cooling period that actually takes place every 25,000 years. And we're on the cusp of that 25,000 year period. Just consider me an angel. I'm not an alien, no. Thanks for asking. I'm straight. I'm a straight non-alien guy. Hi, I'm a human being and I'm straight. Let's date. Oh, actually, I only date Sarah, so. Far from away. Yes, I came from a galaxy far, far away. In the infinite universe. No, I'm not anti-alien or homophobic, but you are, obviously, by your statement, Samsonite. And Samsonite, do you have the keys to your luggage? Because I think there's a universal key that'll open your satchel. Good. You date Sarah and I date, no, that's not going to work. Sarah's hot. So everyone looks, they love you, Sarah. They find you so hot. It's great. So let's just show where your money has gone, into the infinite wastebasket of the known universe. You're probably wondering, what do you mean? Well, Richard Branson just crashed the plane, Space 2. It wasn't his fault, he thinks, but Space 2 went down. It is a major problem. Let's take a look at Richard Branson before the accident and just listen to how completely enamored he was with the idea of people paying $250,000 to fly in a fantastic space trip around the Earth. Now, the plane that they had developed couldn't get to the 350,000 mark, 360,000 feet above the Earth. It couldn't even get out of that low-level ionosphere plane, but it crashed the other day. One person died. But look at how elated he was before the initial flight.
We're actually delighted today to have another major milestone under our belts at Virgin Galactic. For the second time, our wonderful pilots took Virgin Galactic's spaceship Enterprise flawlessly through the sound barrier to higher altitude and greater speed than ever before.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, release, release. Release.
Okay. It released, and right around here, right around here, this is an animation, but right around here, the plane's wings made an immediate unlock and then somehow flipped up. And amazingly, one of the pilots survived. They don't know how he exited the plane at 50,000 feet, but he got out and he managed to survive with only an injured shoulder. The other pilot died in the explosion. But what happened was these wings are designed to tilt up to 65 degrees angles to slow down the plane upon descension. Somehow someone unlocked that thing. And our government has given Richard Branson $4.6 million so that some space executives at NASA could go on the Virgin flight of Galactic. And a lot of people are bailing from Richard Branson now and are saying, you had that massive crash back in 2009, or was it? Yeah, I think it was 2009. A massive crash in the desert in Nevada, an explosion of nitrogen tanks, killing 3 people. Just lost a pilot. It's not good. You went to college with both of those guys? Really? Both of the guys that flew, they're like 42 years old, Pamela. Did you know one of them that crashed, that died? No, I can't quote you, 188. Sorry. He bought a $500,000 ticket 5 years ago. He's an idiot. Yeah, Nicole. Your uncle wasted his money. All these people who put out $250,000 a piece to go into the outer atmosphere, fly around the Earth, are wondering when are they ever going to go? And I doubt they're going to get a refund. No, you really stick to politics or you will be banned, okay? Start focusing on politics. I know your brain can't comprehend some of these tough issues, but you need to look at that. So when our government decided to go ahead and give up all of its infrastructure, open its doors to the SpaceX program, you know, the one that the guy from Tesla is developing, gave a lot of his operational capital to him, gave over the keys to NASA, literally to some private company, and Galactic has gotten a lot of support from NASA. We, the American taxpayer, never got any money back. So if you're wondering where your money is, that's where your money is, okay? The background is the picture of the Virgin Galactic before it crashed the other day. Actually, this is an animation. You don't have to go into the details. You've been personally affected by it? No kidding. Well, I don't want to know too many details. You think Ebola played a big part in what? Cloud seeding is going on right now. We just talked about the chemtrails. Would you like me to bring in the chemtrails, which I'm sure we're spending money on too? Sure. Let's continue with that video. I don't want to bore anybody here. These are all wastes of money. I mean, seriously, what is anyone doing with this stuff? More chemtrails flying over our head? And who's funding this stuff? Yeah, you got to wonder. And we're breathing it. And did anyone ask you, do you want to breathe chemtrails? Obama cannot solve Ebola from infecting you. No matter what you do, it's always up to you to live in misery. This is your destiny. Okay, Capitalism Explained. This is so accurate. Herd of cow, you sell them and retire on the income. American Capital, you have 2 cows, you sell them public list, usually credit opened by your brother-in-law in the bank, then execute a debt equity swap with an Associated General offer so that you can get all 4s back with an exemption. This is funny. Traditional capitalism, right. You have 2 cows, you sell 1 and buy a bull. Your herd multiplies and the economy grows. You sell them and they retire on the income, right. American capitalism. You have 2 cows, you sell 3 of them to your publicly listed company. This is pretty funny. Use letters of credit opened by your brother-in-law at the bank, then execute a debt equity swap with an Associated General offer that you can get all 4 cows back with a tax exemption for 5 cows. The milk rights of the 6 cows are transferred by an intermediary to a Cayman Island company secretly owned by the majority shareholder who sells the right to all 7 cows back to your listed company. The annual report says the company owns 8 cows with an option of 1 more. You sell 1 cow to buy a new president of the United States, leaving you with 9 cows, no balance sheet provided with the release, and the public buys your bull. That's pretty funny. Very cute quote. quote. Thanks for sending me that. Well, Richard Branson's plane is not throwing chemtrails. I'm mixing videos. Let's get back to Richard Branson's plane. He's blowing up in the atmosphere because a lot of these projects are not being fully tested. The science was not there. Many people that have worked on the plane are starting to come out now talking about how they rushed a brand new propulsion package through because the nitrogen wasn't enough to get it up to the outer atmosphere. And that may have played some part. The NTSB hasn't done the final work on this, but it could have been something very, very serious. Sarnoff has escaped prison. Okay, Lenny. Thanks. Lenny, I told you not to do that anymore, and that is a bannable offense. Okay? Yeah, you've been warned, man. And here I had my... Yeah, Lenny, it's time to ban you. Yep. All right, let's get back to the video where Richard Branson's so excited about his Virgin Galactic. This is before this week's crash.
7, 8 seconds. 5 seconds to go. Zolich, there's a Mishap, 1 potato, trimming. Maybe see Miss Compare. Copy. Sweet here. 65. 66.
66. Breaker. Aye. This is when it crashed right around here. You see the wings moving vertically? This is the proper time the wings are supposed to move. This one did not move at this time. It moved much too early.
And on the way back down, the spaceship's unique re-entry system was deployed. The wing and tail sections rotate upwards into what we call the feather position, allowing the vehicle to slow its rate of descent smoothly and stably.
Initially causing the death of pilots on board. And this gives the pilot the time to eject and then crash into the ocean when he's reached his destination. So do join us on the next Virgin Galactic trip. We're so happy you could join us. I mean, that's sad, man. The guy lost his life. I mean, that's pretty sad. So do try.
Just like a shuttle club.
Just like a shuttle club.
Virgin Galactic is now gearing up for the commercial service.
Yes.
Finalizing cabin interiors, flight suits, training programs, and the multiple other details required to offer our hundreds of aspiring astronauts a safe and awe-inspiring journey.
Yes, and only 4 dead.
We are on track for a 2014 start of commercial service.
On track. I just love money. That's what he says. Only 4 dead so far. Yes.
I can't wait to get up there.
Oh, I got to get a copy of that. Hang on. And he said he's going up on the Virgin with his family. He's already said that. Let's hear this again. See how skyrocket.
Can't wait to get up there.
Okay, I got to play that over
Can't
again.
wait to get up there. Can't wait to get up there. Can't wait to get up there.
Can't wait to get up there. Can't wait to get up there.
Can't wait to get up there. Can't wait to get up there. Can't wait to get up there. Can't wait to get up there. Can't wait to get up there. Can't wait to get up.
Oh, he's going to be eating his words. You know, that is really, really sad. You know, there is a potential for mankind. I'm ticking you off. I'm sorry. There is a potential for mankind to actually do a screwdriver, basically a corkscrew out of the atmosphere. The idea of launching a rocket with another rocket to pierce through the atmosphere and get through those terribly strong ionospheric pressure points that burn up the space shuttle and all that. It's a death trap, exactly. I mean, we're playing God when we just have to reverse engineer some alien spacecraft. Surely we can do that and spin our way out of the atmosphere. Loop a stoner movie, David? Now that's ridiculous. Why would you ask me to do that? It sounds to me like you're dealing with some real trouble. Your family has rejected the fact that you smoke pot or something. I mean, what's wrong? Have you become mean or angry or depressed? What's your problem? Well, let's be clear. Loop a stoner track. It's just absurd. Hey, we've got this. Sure. I had one. It's disappeared. All right. Let's get serious here because we got to find other ways to the government that we can start dealing with. You can send me a video. Yeah, sure. If you want. Absolutely. I've got other pictures of money. See, the world doesn't revolve around space. This is what it revolves around. What the world needs now is more cash on hand. Da 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 da. Hey everybody, welcome to our money show. This is Wasteful Wednesday, where a lot of your money gets taken away with inflation. You know, inflation is a hidden tax. It's something that happens whether you like it or not. A lot of my money is disappearing because I'm using it, of course. But a lot of people have this fallacy that they're going to make money in the bank on their money. And so right now there's all these older people that are painstakingly putting their money away in their 401ks, trying to save up enough money so that they can make enough money on their money and still give their family a nest egg. Oh, you're on StreamUp? Okay. Well, let's be clear. I'm going to get into StreamUp right now. Okay? All right. It's a video of Obama saying bad stuff about Republicans. I want to see that, Sark. Yeah, send it to me. America's Third Party at gmail.com. Well, let's be clear, 929. So this is what the whole world's all about. I hate to say it, but it's all about money. It's all about the money. We should do a song. It's all about the money. About the money. About the money. All about the treble. About the treble. 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 All about the bass, about the bass, about the money, about the money. Have you heard that new song that's just all about the treble, about the treble? It's just such a mindless song, but it's great, isn't it? It's all about the money, about the money. So we're not going to be able to get our hands on the kind of money that most people in the high up areas have. There's a small select group of people, the 1% that have 99% of the wealth. I don't want to turn our country into the caterer for those rich people like the two-party system has done. We basically have been giving all those people $85 billion a month down to $65 billion a month last month. And now Janet Yellen, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, is saying it's all about the money, about the money, about the money, all about the money. She's saying she's going to stop the payouts, sending a shockwave through the world. Right now, the European Central Bank is thinking of extending more bond buying to cover their European euro ass. And Japanese central bank just did that. They're buying up about $700 billion worth of bonds just to keep the Japanese economy floating right now. Basically, our country is saying, oh, we're going to stop. So you're going to see some real strange things happening with our money soon, because all those mortgage-backed security guys that are sucking money in left and right, they're going to be saying, well, I don't want to lose. You know, they're stocking away billions of dollars in their private accounts right now. So they're going to start foreclosing on all their properties. Guess what, America? We're screwed. David, do you think government's spending money to figure out why a large percentage of lesbians are overweight? Really? That's fascinating. Let's find out why. There's a lot of government projects that are wasteful. I agree. The bond market is a huge bubble, 929. Well, they're stopping the quantitative easing. Oh, they're not stopping the bond buying. What do you think the quantitative easing is? When they buy up the mortgage-backed securities with QE2 and QE3, it's basically a whole plan to impregnate our entire society with too much money. Throwing money, printing it up out of thin air with the Federal Reserve fractional banking system, literally printing it up out of thin air and giving it to these huge money brokers that sit there and just go, impregnate. You heard it. The background is too much for the bond streaming. Okay, we'll stop it. Thank you. Now, it's too much for our society to deal with as well. I agree. All right, thank you. I can play 23 seconds of this. But I don't want to because it's asking me for my entire identity on Google. Every time you click a Google link now, a YouTube link, it asks you for your entire identity. Well, silver is pretty strong as a long-term investment. You know, gold is 40 times harder to mine than silver. Silver's easier to mine than gold. Yet gold is a lot more than 40 times the cost of silver. So in a way, silver is probably your better buy right now for your investment purposes. No, I don't think we should get rid of the penny. I think we got plenty of pennies and leave them in circulation. There's no need to get rid of them. I can't imagine rounding up and not screwing somebody out of some money. Oh, you're saying I shouldn't speak on monetary and fiscal policies. Oh, really? Okay, so when the Japanese central bank prints up $700 billion a year to pad their growth, which is collapsing right now, and they're losing traction, and the European Central Bank asks the same question, should we do that? Meanwhile, America is stopping the buying of mortgage-backed securities right now, as of now. You don't think that's going to trigger a downward cycle in our economy? And don't question my knowledge of the economy, please. Thank you. I appreciate that. I look at the economy in a macroeconomic way, which most people can't even comprehend. And I've even questioned the great leader and guru of the monetarist system, Milton Friedman. I actually got into an argument with him in 1978. And the issues that I brought up were and still are very pertinent to where our economy is going. Seriously. You know, we have seen our nation divert to automation. And I asked Milton Friedman in 1978, what's going to happen when automation kicks in and there's no jobs for Americans? His answer to me was, the free market will solve everything. I said, okay. What about when we run out of energy? Or if we ever run out of energy, or it gets too expensive to deliver things in the global economy, to ship things across the ocean? Well, the free market will solve everything, he says. No, this is the Milton Friedman antidote. Thank you. Japan has not gotten any economic traction. They're in fact weakening their dollar against the world currency right now. Nobody's tried Milton Friedman's model. What do you call monetarism? What do you call the Keynesian model evolved into monetarism, which many people like Alan Greenspan said was a philosophical error of judgment? I'm not misleading anybody. I'm telling you what's going on in the economy right now, and don't denigrate me in any way. I told you I'll ban you from the show. David, do you smoke weed? I have smoked a little marijuana in my life. I did inhale. No, I argued with him in 1978 in Ackerman Union. He was a guest speaker in front of about 6 or 7, or actually there were about 10 grad students there. And I walked in on the entire conversation. And I sat there and listened to this blowhard talk about how the free market's going to solve everything. We just have to fuel it with more printed money. And he continued. 2008 hasn't proved anything. We haven't felt the real hurt of our economy, the real butt hurt. Right now, we've been living in a padded reality where the Federal Reserve has literally borrowed $6 trillion over the past 6 years, borrowed it from nowhere, and gave it out to companies all across the world. 3 or 4% of them went to world economies, but a lot of that money was just thrown out there and nothing has happened. There's no real traction from all the money they spent. 6 trillion. So what Japan is doing right now with borrowing money, literally, to buy up $700 billion in bond issues, is just buying time and doing what this country's done, which hasn't really affected the real economy. Now, you'll talk to any economic expert and tell you that if the austerity measures of the European Union and the euro are not implemented, they won't gain any traction. This is the stuff that is currently being discussed right now in the world economic theater. So if you don't understand that, then I'm sorry, this country is not There has never been a give me a break. Everything about our economy is the Milton Friedman model. Stooping lower than ever. Wow. Well, if you believe that he believed in minimal government spending, why did the guys tell me 6 times when I asked him every single question that the free market will solve everything? Thank you. All he said was the free market's going to solve everything. Every one of my questions, that's the only answer he said. Year 1. Oh, really? And exactly, what's your degree in again at the Christian or Jewish university you graduated from? You had a minor in economics and you got a C+ average? That's great. Okay, something from Washington Post. Yeah, Republicans just won the election and President Barack Obama does not care. Let's take a look. President Obama gestures as he speaks during a news conference in the East Room of the White House. He doesn't want to talk about it. He had a clear message for congressional Republicans in the wake of the GOP sweeping victories in the Senate and House on Tuesday. Big whoop. Well, there's no doubt that the Republicans had a good night, Obama said in his opening remarks, the rhetorical equivalent of a slow clap for Republicans. Okay. Thank you. Back to you. Big Mike, please don't say anything disparaging about Candy Rain. I appreciate that. Topper Dan, printing money is what we've been doing. Why don't you realize that? There's nothing good about the end result of monopolies forming around the world because the Federal Reserve is giving out $6 trillion in 6 years. And that's really pale in comparison to what they've given out over the past 10 years, close to $20 trillion. What's the awesome election theme? Because I've got an election theme right now that I've been implementing. It's called Change for the Better. That's my concept for the 2016 election. I came up with it last night. I implemented it in the show. This is my new theme. Change for the better. Yeah, not for the worse. Not just change for change's sake, but not chump change, but change for the better. Well, Chang might be better. I don't need to make more money. No, I'm living comfortably on what little savings I have. I'm sure you are bisexual with a man crush on somebody. Oh, so Life Invader, here's a classic Democratic idiot. The economy is working just fine without you needing to make it any worse. No money is going to waste. No markets have crashed. What are you planning to do, David? Make it crash forcefully? Frankly, when I become president, they will crash the economy because they're looking for the simplest and smallest excuse to crash the economy. This is an elaborate Ponzi scheme that's been developed. It's ridiculous. Let's talk about this. David, why don't you care about money? That's messed up. Not at all. I'm building a resource-based economy. I'm trying to tell you that printed money deflates your value in your wallet. If I were to give you a glass of Kool-Aid, and I'm not Jim Jones or anything, and you drank it and said, wow, that's good Kool-Aid. Then I said, I'm going to add about 50 gallons of water to that and then give you another glass of Kool-Aid. That's good water. You've got Smart Sound, Royalty, Election Plus campaign. Really? That's kind of cool. Thank you for finding it. Cool. High performance tracks, all free. Actually, I can't play any music on our show because I found that whenever I do, thank you. Well, that's the best analogy I can explain to idiots like Topper Dan, who doesn't understand the dilution of the dollar. The thing is, the market has recovered since the last crashes without an economic support. That's not true. The market had a huge infusion. The money's gone. A huge infusion of capital.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Here comes the money.
blood, call it homegrown. More rich than testosterone. Power and money got me crazy cocky. No longer need you pocket. I know.
Okay, thank you. That was great. I know all. Topper Dan, you're learning. I'm going to teach you. We can't all be rich because there will always be three classes of people needed. You know, that's another stereotype that's been promulgated by the economic monetarists that continue to print money. They say that there's never ever going to be a time when we won't have poor people. They really believe that too. They've got everybody believing it. He emulates Beethoven. My blackface voice is too funny. Thank you. So name one market the past year or previous year that hasn't recovered. Can you name one market that failed to recover from the last crash? Well, how about the euro? Yeah, let's talk about the euro and how it's beginning to crumble beneath them and how they have to keep coming up with loans to keep funding Portugal and Italy, and Spain, and Ireland. Tell me that economy isn't collapsing. Oh, Topper Dan, you know, we're done with you. I told you, you have spent your wad here, buddy. You're done. You too, guest frequent 6, yeah. Thomas Sowell, yeah, we'll debate with him right now. Look, when I had Milton Friedman tell me that the free market will solve all problems, I knew I was talking to an imbecile. And the same with Topper Dan. A lot of these people think that they can actually predict the consumer spending of the average American. The consumer spending of the average American is in the tank right now. This coming up retail sector shows the real economy. Look at Sears. Nobody can tell you better than a company that's on its last leg, ready to fire 4,500 people, close down 100+ stores, and you're telling me that all the economies have rebounded. You people are so delusional and completely brain dead. I don't know why you're doing that, but thank you. All right, thank you. Yay. So if you think for a second that our economy is doing great, go contact the people at JCPenney's and say, oh, how's retail doing? Or the Best Buy group that can't even begin to understand how they're going to restructure their company so that their original owner can buy it back. You know, I have to laugh at all these ivory tower academic economists who come in here with their strategies, the Austrian school, the Chicago school. None of them have any clear understanding of the voting behavior or the shopping behavior of the American people. The Obama playlist? Okay. Got to get you in my last green tea. View of the economy are not relevant because they didn't graduate with a PhD. Some people are also DDoSing us right now. All right.